In Kaiju number 8, the corpses of incredibly powerful kaiju, or identified and numbered kaiju, are taken and turned into weapons, and these weapons are called numbers. Numbers are essentially battle suits that keep the strength and abilities of the kaiju they were created from, and allow a compatible user to wield those abilities. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, and there is an awesome plan for your life. Numbers weapons are incredibly powerful battle suits used by some of the most elite members of the Defense Force in Kaiju number 8. Now, numbers weapons are not to be confused with custom weapons. Custom weapons are made and given to stronger members of the Defense Force. They're actual like handheld weapons, but numbers are battle suits that are made from the corpses of kaiju that give the wielders the abilities and strength of those kaiju. Now, during the explanation of all of these numbers weapons, there will be slight spoilers in this video, so that's just your warning to be aware of. I'm not going to spoil massive plot points. Also, caveat, numbers weapons 3 and 7 have only been briefly mentioned in the manga and the anime, and we don't really know much about them or who wields them or what they do, so those are excluded from the list. Let's get started with the least powerful numbers weapon 4, which is wielded by Kikuro Shinomiya. This weapon was obviously created from Kaiju number 4, and it's actually kind of a family heirloom because it was originally wielded by Hikari Shinomiya and then later was inherited by her daughter Kikoru Shinomiya. This numbers weapon also retains the memories of its previous user, which was actually integral for Shinomiya in her battle with Kaiju number 15, as she was able to see the ghost of her mom, and that allowed her to really up her battle style and defeat Kaiju number 15 ultimately. Now, while this suit is powerful, it gives its user a ton of speed and the ability to fly via these like insect wings that sprout from the back. We really haven't seen a ton about numbers weapon 4, and compared to what we've seen with other numbers weapons, it does rank as the least powerful of the bunch, but still is very powerful. Kaiju number 2 is regarded as one of, if not the most powerful kaiju to ever attack Japan, and due to that, numbers weapon 2 can only be wielded by one of the most powerful members of the Defense Force. That soldier is none other than the leader and director of the Defense Force, Isao Shinomiya, who is actually the father of Shinomiya, who is the current numbers weapon 4 wielder. We actually get a really good display of numbers weapons 2 abilities and powers via the fight between Isao and Kaiju number 8 at the end of season 1, and we get to see the massive power that is wielded by Isao when using this battlesuit. Numbers weapon 2 allows its user to unleash huge sonic attacks and massive energy blasts, and it was actually powerful enough to fend off and looked like it was close to being able to defeat Kaiju number 8. Additionally, when Kaiju number 9 targeted and absorbed Isao, it also absorbed numbers weapon 2 with Isao, and even said that it was about time that Kaiju number 2 returned to the Kaiju side. Numbers weapon 6, wielded by Reno Ichikawa. Reno Ichikawa has been by Kafka's side since the very beginning of the story, and has proved to be a really good and competent officer in the Defense Force. However, as the story progresses, we see Ichikawa slowly being left behind as everybody else gets more and more powerful. The Defense Force slowly recognizes that Ichikawa might actually be a perfect fit to wield weapons number 6, which was created from Kaiju number 6, which is referred to as the King of Kaiju. So far, no one has been able to successfully control weapons number 6 besides Reno Ichikawa. Numbers weapon 6 is a suit that gives the user the ability to create these massive walls and powerful blasts of ice that will instantly freeze kaiju. Ice is such an effective weapon against kaiju that even standard Defense Force officers have ice rounds they use in their standard issue weapons. Mastering numbers weapon 6 was actually really difficult for Reno Ichikawa to do, but now that he finally has, since cold temperatures have always been an incredibly effective way to combat and fight kaiju, numbers weapon 6 has become one of the most powerful weapons in the Defense Force arsenal. Narumi is captain of the 1st Division of the Defense Force, and after Isao was absorbed by Kaiju number 9, was actually told that the Defense Force is being left in his hands, since he is now likely one of, if not the strongest fighter in all of Japan. Additionally, he was also the personal student and disciple of Isao Shinomiya. Due to this, he wields the incredibly powerful numbers weapon 1 made from the corpse of Kaiju number 1. This suit is unique unique from all other numbers weapons because it's actually a battle suit and a sight of monster retinas that go over Narumi's eyes. Numbers weapon 1 is also different because it doesn't have any overtly offensive attack abilities like all of the others, but it is no less powerful for it. Instead, it gives Narumi the ability to hone in on the weak points of his enemies, and it also gives him almost a second sight in which he's able to predict the movements of his enemies via the electrical field around them. Narumi was even able to develop this ability further, taking it to the next level where he has a true level of foresight where he can see what his enemies are about to do. Due to all of these things, Numbers Weapon 1 is one of the most powerful weapons in the entire Defense Force. Before we get into the most powerful numbers weapons, let me know down in the comments below, so far, which one of the numbers weapons do you think is the coolest? The most powerful numbers weapon that we know of so far is going to be Numbers Weapon 10, and that is wielded by none other than Vice Captain Hoshina. Now, Numbers Weapon 10 is unique for a few different reasons. Now, all of the numbers weapons that we've seen were created before the story of Kaiju number 8 started, so we didn't get to see any of the battles between the Kaiju that they came from, and we didn't get to see the creation process of the suits. We actually do get to see the battle between Kaiju number 10 and Hoshina and the creation of the suit that comes from that conflict. Additionally, Numbers Weapon 10 is the first suit that was made from the corpse of a Kaiju that was actually sentient and could actually speak. Therefore, Numbers Weapon 10 is actually sentient as well and can speak to its wielder. Kaiju number 10 was an incredibly powerful opponent that resulted in an incredibly powerful suit. The battle suit it was turned into has a long bladed tail and seems perfectly suited for Hoshina's fighting style. Numbers Weapon 10 was a crucial part of the battle with Kaiju number 12, who was essentially the perfected and finalized version of Kaiju number 10. Interestingly enough, Numbers Weapon 10 actually retains its sentience from being a kaiju. Since it's the first numbers weapons that was made from an actual sentient kaiju, the weapon itself is still sentient and can talk with its wielder Hoshina. This provides a really unique element in battle where the two minds actually are able to talk, strategize, and work together, making it the most powerful numbers weapon suit we have seen so far. Now, a really interesting side note is Kaiju number 10 chose Hoshina and actually asked Hoshina to turn it into a weapon to be used by Hoshina after its defeat. The only other example we have seen of a kaiju choosing a human is when Kaiju number 8 chose Kafka to be his host. So here we have all of these powerful weapons, we have all these powerful numbered kaiju, and only in 2 instances do we see a numbered kaiju actually choosing a human host to work with. That is all the numbers weapons that we know so far ranked. Let me know down in the comments below which one you think is the most interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, give it a thumbs up. That's free for you to do and it helps the channel a whole lot. You can subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you liked this one, YouTube says you'll like that video a lot too. So go check it out, and like I always say, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.